Welcome to one of this year's most challenging races, where the combination of high speed and complex corners makes this one of the drivers' favourite tracks. It's time for the Japanese Grand Prix. 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour.
Good afternoon and welcome to the stream here on IG8Live Esports. Everyone, we're on with APPF1 racing community for Tier 1 race here on Friday. Of course, it's still a bit of a pre-race. I think this is the second pre-race that they're having before they get started with their season next week. So we should still have a pretty good session. We got 18 drivers in the grid there for this one. We're of course doing a short qualifying session and getting straight into the 50% race. And welcome to all of you joining us live on the stream. Make sure you guys do leave a like on the stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you are new on here. So let's get into this and see what we got going on. So 18 drivers in. We got quite a few drivers out on track already. Remember, it's just a short qualifying session. We're not doing a full qualifying here. So they're gonna have only that 18 minutes, which is already down to it's about 15.5 minutes or so remaining here in the session to get their lap times in and see where they can qualify on the grid for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. And of course, we'll see who's going to be on pole over this one here. It's going to be quite interesting to see what the lap times are. Of course, it's going to be like as we get on through with it. We do have a few cars should be getting some lap times in pretty soon. Let's switch it on and see what's going to be happening as well here on with fully orange at the moment in the Haas. Trying to switch it back on a different camera view if we can. There we go. A little bit loud on my end. I'll probably just turn this down. Alright, so let's see what's gonna be or who's gonna have our first lap time in once they get that going there. I know quite a few cars are on their qualifying laps here at the moment, quite a few cars on their out laps, so yeah, still got a bit to go on that. So let's see how everything's gonna go on through. Hopefully we have a pretty good stream today. No issues detected so far in terms of you know, some of the stuff that was happening yesterday. So welcome again to everyone on the stream. Got quite a few guys in there. Hey Wes, good to have you back on again. I think you're on all of my streams basically that we do during the course of a week. Yeah, so let's see. I think we should start to get some lap times in. I'm looking at Poorly Orange still. I'm not sure if it was the fourth driver to get out on track or was there someone in front of him, but let's see what's going to happen. Either way, he is going to finish off this lap pretty soon, and we should see what that lap time is going to be. And then we'll follow on with a few other drivers who are coming on behind him on their qualifying laps as well. Of course, this qualifying session is going to be going through pretty quickly and I'll be getting a bit faster into the race. It's a 130.034, kind of similar to what we had with the other Japanese Grand Prix throughout the course of this week, as we've done at least. I think this is like the third or fourth one we're doing for the week. We got Rick now takes a provisional pole with a 130.000, so directly a minute 32nd there for his lap time. Quite impressive. Goes second fastest at 130.031, and they're Poorly Orange down to third with his 130.034 and is only separated from each other by literally just 3,000 of a second. Quite impressive what we got going on so far. MX goes fourth fastest, 130.1. And then we got Jack there now to fifth, 130.8. Gilligan goes sixth right now, 131.2. Not too far off from the rest of the grid above him. But yeah, still we got quite a bit of time left in qualifying. Still enough time for them to get at least 2 more qualifying laps in and see where they can be with this. Trying to see where the rest of our drivers are as we get on through. And someone, Speed Alcoholic went into P6 there with a 130.9. But he's in that mix. Got a Ferrari going into the wall here. Might have some damage there on Alonso's car. What's his running? Tito, let's see where he is running. With the Mercedes, is it? Oh, with the Red Bull, sorry. That is actually a pretty good strategy. Wes is suggesting there, but let's see what the guys are going to do on this one here. I think it should be a fully dry session. We're not 100% sure on this, but I'm quite sure it's going to be a fully dry session getting on through here. But let's see how well it goes. But so far, so good from what we got. Let's see where the Red Bull goes over this, because let's see, he's going to finish out that lap here pretty soon. I want to see where he goes at the end of this here. Alright, so on board, let's see. Oh, goes 9 fastest, only a 159.5. Was not the best of lap there for Tito, so he's gonna have to try that again. Hopefully get a better lap in. We're on the Elite here, Dave, and I think he's trying, yeah, he's about to get his lap in there as well, getting through sector 2, I think, on track. So let's see where that's going to be. Rick still holds on to provisional pole here, of course, with his 130 that he did have. Goes still second fastest, and Polly Orange still third fastest on the grid. So I think that those times are going to actually hold, at least for now, but let's see how well. I'm quite impressed though with the lap times that we have between Ghost and Orange there. It's so close between the two of them. Does show us it's definitely going to be quite a competitive session as we get around to that there. So let's see what's going to happen. But yeah, so far so good from what we can see. Lap times are actually pretty competitive. Only Tito there having some trouble with his lap. And there goes Dave into 6th now, 130.7. Just a 10 slower than what 10 faster actually the one Jack had. So yeah, not too bad so far. Zeta there goes 12 fastest, 152.1. Not the best of lap there again. They're definitely gonna have to try those laps back and see what they can get done. We're on with let's go with LB Racing here in the Aston Martin. It's on outlap still, so don't worry about the returning invalidated. We'll see what the lap is gonna be when he does get started on that. But yeah, we got 13 drivers on the grid with lap times in, and it's looking very competitive. I think we're looking at a pretty good race here this afternoon with APPF1 Racing Tier 1 drivers, and yeah, it should be quite an interesting season with them as well as we get started up. I think it should be next week or getting started. So yeah, I want to see, definitely want to see what the race start is going to look like here. Of course, we had quite a few races at Japan over the course of this week here on streams that we've done, and it's been quite interesting to see what different leagues have going on, and I'm going to be quite interested to see what APPF1 can do as well. I know they have quite a few good drivers, quite a lot of good drivers in there actually, so yeah, it should be an interesting race. I want to see what the safety car situation is going to be, how many will we have, and how will that affect race strategy that drivers have planned here. LB Racing there getting started on his qualifying lap. Oh, goes a little bit too off track. That's an invalidated lap there, so unfortunate for that. And yep, Ghost, I am definitely hoping that we do not have any glitches. It's been a heck of a streaming with these glitches have been going on with the game from the time it's been out to now. I mean, they're trying to, I know they're fixing some of this stuff, but yeah, we're still having issues going on through. There's still a safety car issue that still happens. I believe, I'm not sure, it didn't happen the last few times I've done streams. So I think for this week we didn't have that happen, but still, let's see what's going to happen as we get on through the session. Hopefully it's all gone through. And then of course we have been having some minor issues on our streaming services end here. I think it's just on my end, it's not internet, it's just the settings that I have on the setup for the streaming. We seem to be having some issues over the course of the week. It's still the same right now. It doesn't seem to be having any issues here today. Thank God for that. So we'll keep it going the way it is, but I'm gonna have to have a look at the settings hopefully through the weekend when I do get a chance, maybe tonight if I can, and see if anything needs to be updated. I think I know what needs to be changed, but I gotta experiment with it just a bit before actually doing a stream with it. I don't want to just do a stream with some new settings and then we just, you know, botch the whole thing. But yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. Tino there goes 6th fastest, 130.7, 23 100th of a second faster than what Dave currently has there in 7. Not too bad with our lap time as we got it. Where is Nico on track? In the Ferrari, trying to get a lap time in, getting through sector 1, of course, right about now, spinning that Ferrari around, catches it back from going into a wall or something. So but still unfortunate, no lap time in as yet, so we're gonna have to try that again. Of course, Alonso back into the pits. Where is Manny? In the AlphaTauri, getting around here, and I think he's in sector 2 going. So far so good. West wants to race here with APPF1. I'm not sure if I know the Ghost there is responsible, or he's the guy I'm talking to concerning APPF1 West, so have a chat with him. And maybe he can get you sorted if you for at least for a reserve, or if they do have a seat available for the upcoming season that starts next week. Oh yeah, and we will be working towards, I think I'll have that added over the weekend though. We'll have the Discord link for each league added onto their streams, so it will be updated on every stream that we do in the future. So at least if anyone wants to join the leagues, they can just get the link from the video description. I was supposed to do that a while back with Nomex, but I think we're gonna actually get us sorted through this weekend if we can. And we'll have it added on in the video descriptions for each specific stream for each league, so that everyone can join on the league if they can. Just make it a lot easier. Alright, so 133.7 for Manny there. Not the best time there, but he's only down to 16, so we'll see what's going to happen. Looks like poorly orange, I didn't even notice that. Took away provisional pole away from Rick. So Rick is now down to second, goes down to third, MX down to fourth, of course. They're 129.674 though. Pretty impressive lap from him. I think it's going to hold up pretty well for the rest of the session. We got 130s going all the way down into 11th now. What's 10th now down into 11th? Someone went into the mix there. But yeah, so far so good for what we got. And I think we got just 6.5 minutes or so remaining in the qualifying session. Let's switch this back to the Ferrari of Nico here. See what he's up to at the moment. I'm not sure. So Poli Orange currently on provisional pole for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. Rick, their second fastest, goes third, and looking to be starting in that position, or maybe a better position if he can. Gaps are extremely close, about a tenth or two to a few hundredth or a few thousandth of a second between some of our drivers here, so you gotta say it's quite impressive. Vibes there in fifth, Jack 6, we got Speed Alcoholic there 7, Gilligan down in 8, Tino is there 9th, we got Dave in 10th, we got Demon there 11, Badak in 12, we got Eat My Dust in 13, Zeta 14, Tito in 15th. Got another spinning Ferrari on track there, and well, the same spinning Ferrari. Got Manny there in 16th. LB racing out of the session. Didn't get a lap time in, down in 17th right now. Alonso and Nico didn't get a lap time in as yet, but they're still in the session and still going at this. So hopefully can get a lap time in before the session comes off to an end. On with the next Ferrari of Alonso here. Let's see, he's getting started on another attempt at a qualifying lap here. Let's see on board a bit. It is a bit tricky, as we said in previous streams here. Getting through sector 1, you got to be very careful with the braking and getting back on the power as you get through this portion of the track, and watch those curves as much as you can. And of course, a bit of a blind spot going up, that left-hander coming up right there, because you cannot see where the track is actually going. You gotta actually just know where it is, whether it's a racing line being used or not. You still gotta know the track. So yeah, still a bit tricky here at Japan, getting through some of these corners here. A bit of a difficult track, but not too hard to master if you get enough practice in, which hopefully these guys have gotten in, because we can see some pretty good lap times in, or maybe a few drivers still struggling here in terms of just getting a good qualifying time in. But we'll see how the race session goes though. It's going to be a bit different from what we have happening in qualifying. Some drivers, they do shine in qualifying, not so much in the race. Some of them not so much in qualifying, but they do much better in the race in terms of making up positions, and you know, it doesn't make somewhere around that. So we'll see how drivers manage through. And actually this will give us a bit of a handle on how things are going to go for the rest of the season here with the guys. Sorry about that Nightbot, guys. I didn't update the time on it, so it's going to just keep posting crap in chat. Okay, sorry about that. We're just getting something sorted for the streams upcoming for next week. Sorry about that. So we can get that sorted. So we already have Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday schedule. We have the scheduled streams up on the channel already for APPF1 for next week. We're gonna have that sorted once we finish this one because I can't do it at the same time because it uses the same stream key and it is gonna conflict the whole situation. We're not gonna do one. So let's leave that until we finish this session. Finishing off the qualifying session in about less than 8 seconds as far as I know. And we'll have a look at the results here quickly before we get on over. So Go starting on professional pole as far as we can see. Poorly Orange looks like he's starting second. Rick going to be third. MX in fourth. We got Dave in fifth. Eatmate does 6. Vibes in 7. Jack 8. We got Speed Alcoholic in 9th. Gilligan 10th. Tino's 11th. We got Demon there 12. Tito currently 13. Barak in 14. Alonso 15. Got a time in. Zeta 16. Manny there 17. LB Race no time in as he was out. 18 to be starting the race, and Nico there will be starting 19 if things stay as it is, unless any orders change. We'll have a quick look as we get through with it either way. Of course, it is going to be a no formation lap on this occasion here because there's a bit of a glitch with that as well for as far as the guys know, so we're not going to turn that on. So we're going to get straight into the race as soon as we load into that session, and you'll see how it goes. Welcome to AP Pals on the stream there again. Haven't talked to you in a while, my friend. Good to have you on. I'm looking forward to this race session as well, and good to be back with APPF1 as well. So let's see how this race is going to go. Just finishing off the qualifying session with a few drivers still running on track, and then I think we should be all good to go at the end of that there. Once again, guys, welcome to every one of you currently joining us here live on the stream. Good to have you guys on. I see most of you guys have already done what I'm saying to do, so make sure you guys do leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're new on. Do appreciate you guys doing that. And yeah, we should be getting started with this race session in just a bit. That's because I haven't been racing since February. I haven't been streaming since I think November of last year. I haven't streamed for 6 months, and I recently started streaming back. I think it's just about how long have we been doing this? Maybe a month or 2 months now. We've started streaming again. I'm not even sure, but it hasn't been that long. I think it's 2 months now. Yeah, it's about 2 months now. I've actually started streaming back, so now I'm actually really getting back into it. So we've got a full schedule for the week going on, but we're not doing anything on the weekends now. Just gonna be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're just gonna keep it at that what we got there. Yep, needed a break as well, but yeah, I had quite a few things going on, so I did decide to just take a break off, and I then get back on before the new game came out. I think it was just like a week or 2 weeks before F1 22 came out is where I actually got back online and started to try to do some streams. I did like 2 streams with No Mix Racing before we actually got straight into the new game. I think that's where we started from, so that was like a week before, I guess, in a week to 2 weeks before it came out. Okay, so that's the end of the qualifying session. I'm going to get straight into the Japanese Grand Prix restart here. I want to see how well that goes. I'm expecting quite a decent start, a pretty good start. Might have some minor contacts with a few cars as we get through that. Let's have a quick look at the qualifying results. So Poorly Orange starting on pole here for the Japanese Grand Prix. We got Davis going to be starting second. We got Gold starting third on the grid. What a change in order. Vibe starting fourth. MX will start in fifth. We got Jack starting in sixth. Rick starting seventh. We got Emendes will start in eighth. Speed Alcoholic there in 9th, Gilligan 10th, Tino's 11th, we got Demon there 12th, Zeta in 13th, Tito 14, Barak 15th, Alonso 16, we got Manny 17th, LB Racing 18, and Nico there in 19th. So 19 drivers on the grid with this. It's going to be quite an exciting race. We're only one short of a full grid, but still, imagine how excited would it be if it was a full grid. But still, pretty good to see so many drivers in for a preseason race here with APPF1. So yeah, it should be quite a good session going on through. Remember, it's a 50% race. Gonna have a lot happening. We do expect we might have a safety car, or maybe 2 or maybe 3. I'm not sure. We kind of lose count up to safety cars after at least a third one. So either we'll see what's gonna happen. We do expect we will have some contact between cars because they're gonna be racing pretty closely with those gaps that we saw there. Hope to see you back on track as well, my friend. Hope to see you back on track very soon in the season. I'll be here with the Friday races every week. If anything comes up, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, generally I'm off on Friday, so just a little something to do. And the time works out pretty well. Alright, so there's a counter. Of course, remember guys, we're no formation lap on this occasion here. We're getting straight into the race session. I'm going to try and catch as much as we can and get the settings up as quickly as I can. I've done it before. Okay, so here we go. Start of the Japanese Grand Prix. And oh, we got someone turn formation lap on. I thought it was gonna be off. Anyway, I love when it sounds so. I usually get to do a lot of stuff like this. Have a look at what the race strategy is gonna be. Alright, so we got a formation lap on. For some reason I was told it was going to be off. Either way, it's not too bad. Let's have a quick look and see what's happening on track with this. So it's a 27 lap race around the Suzuka circuit here for the Japanese Grand Prix with APPF1 racing community for tier 1 here. We got Poorly Orange, of course. We're going to go back to the grid or as it is as they get along the track here and get back sorted for that. Okay, we can see majority of our drivers though starting on the mediums, and definitely we're expecting a one-stop strategy if it's a straightforward race. But of course, you know what's going to happen. We're going to have safety cars, we're going to have VSCs, you're going to have yellow flags, a lot of things are going to happen in the race. It will just make drivers take extra stops, and we'll definitely see a lot more change in strategies there as well. One driver starting on the softs, we got 2 on the hards. We'll see how well the strategy goes. But yeah, Poorly Orange there starting on pole. Eli Dave there second on the grid for that. He's going to be just alongside him there to head into turn 1. On Ghost, of course, they're in third, Vibes in fourth. I want to see how well it works with these 4 of them getting through T1 as they get started in that race. MX in 5th, Jack, of course, 6th, Rick there 7. That's Mercedes side by side there, next to each other at least. Now then we got Eat My Dust there 8, Alcoholic there in 9th, Gilligan in 10, Tino's 11th, of course, Demon 12, Zeta 13, Tito in 14, Barak in 15, Alonso 16, Manny there 17th, LB Racing in 18th, and Nico in 19th on the grid. Seems to be a pretty good order so far as we have it. Of course, I'm going to leave this as we always do on position changes. You guys can have a quick look at that as we get started with this race, and we'll switch that through at least halfway through the first lap. And yeah, we'll see how well it actually goes on that opening lap there. Let's go all the way back with Nico. The back here is waiting. He's going to be the final car to get sorted in a grid slot before we can get started with this race here. 27 laps, average about just over a minute and a half per lap, guys. So work out the race time here. Work out about a 45-50 minute race. 55 minutes maybe with the safety cars in it. Just take up a little bit of time with that as well. I hope I turned my audio settings back correctly. I did make a few changes. I think it should be back. Let me just have a quick look if I can though. 6.5. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm trying to get a front view. There we go. Good enough at this point. Okay, now from Ghost, not gonna work on that occasion. Waiting for those lights there to go on. There we go. So we're off. Looks like the Red Bull gets a pretty good start there, and Poorly Orange might be in some trouble here going into turn 1 because Dave already ahead. And I'm trying to see. Let's have a look on how they get into turn 1. Those Haas drivers getting pretty much out front here. Of course, except for Poorly Orange, he's lost his position, but his teammate though getting out front just a bit up into third. So not too bad. Ghost is down to 4th though. Not sure how he lost that position, but yeah, maybe not the best of starts off the line for him, but still pretty good so far. So we have it, Dave leading this race and getting out in front as much as he can. It's a 17 gap already. I think he's pushing just to increase that gap as much as he can before the end of the first lap. Possibly take it over a second ahead of no one have that DRS advantage behind of him. Let's go down to Ghost here, see where the McLaren is up to. Has the Alfa Romeo Avant behind of him. Jack there in 6th. His team is Rick is down into 9th right now. So both Mercedes not at the position where they started there. So just a bit of a rough start for Rick as he's already down there, and he's going to possibly try to get that up. We haven't seen a yellow flag or any sort of VSC situation since we got started here. So far so good in terms of clean racing with these guys here, and it's looking pretty good to continue on like this. Let's go down to Rick and Tino, because I see a pretty close gap with him and then Martin there. Yeah, Rick definitely under some pressure here to possibly keep that position there at 9, and of course he's going to try to work his way back up the field. Poorly Orange, of course, getting extremely close to the Red Bull out in front there, because he had 210 gap. I'm quite sure he's looking for an overtake to happen. Rick here trying for his own move at the moment. He's going to go around the outside of the Williams there. Let's see, can he get it around the final few turns into sector 3? And he definitely looks like he is. He is out up a position up into 8th, and that's not a bad overtake for him. As we get back on the start finish, let's have a look out front what's happening with these two going into turn 1. The Haas, of course, keeping as close as he can to that Red Bull, and yep, Definitely looking for a gap to get an overtake done. Might have to just wait a bit on this one though, because it's not going to be an easy move as he expects. We're already in lap 2 of 27. This laps might actually go away pretty quickly from us the way this race is advancing through. But yeah, we got some pretty good drivers in here. Gaps are extremely close all the way through. Ghost, of course, looking for a move against the horse in front of him. That's MX there. And I want to see if that's going to happen or not. But yeah, pretty close gap. Under a 10, just about a few hundredths of a second between them. So imagine how close these guys are actually driving to each other. The damage is on this session here, so they can easily get wing damage by running into the back of another car. That's some penalties starting to come on track. They already got Baddock with a penalty, 3-second penalty. I think that's where you see the track limits there. I'm keeping this right or wrong here right about now. I see Rick there is already up to 7th. He's has less than a 10th between him and Speed Alcoholic there as well. So one McLaren putting her horse under pressure, one McLaren under pressure right now. Looking at a pretty good race start here right now, as they're about to get into lap 3 pretty soon. Got these two trying to go side by side for it here. Got the McLaren going off track just a bit. He gets back on, doesn't lose the position, but almost lost. I gotta say to that Alfa Romeo behind of him. And I think Vibes definitely trying to keep up with them as much as he can, looking to gain an advantage if they do take each other out of this race. Getting back into turn 1. This is into the next lap here right now. DRS, of course, coming online right about now. A lot of drivers on track are going to have that DRS advantage, but quite a speed advantage as well through the DRS sections of the track. We'll see how well it impacts them. Going back out front to our race leader here in the Red Bull. Dave there keeping his car out in front as much as he can. Got poorly Orange though. Orange is trying to look for a gap here. So difficult through sector 1 of this track. But he's still pushing as much as he can, and see if he can actually get that overtake done. GapX just keeping it wrong about a 4/10 gap right about now. So yeah, not too bad so far what we got. Going back with Ghost here, he's still chasing after that Haas. This is of course a battle for the final podium position available on track here. Still early off on the race though, but let's see what's going to happen. Vibes behind him. He is trying to keep his gap as close as he can. Remember that DRS advantage is going to be beneficial to them at this point in the race going on through. So they're going to keep as close as they can to each other and go for the move here. We got Rick here under a bit of pressure from Speed Alcoholic behind of him. We got I think it looks like we got a safety car. Is it a full safety car or is it a VSC? If you can have a look. If you can have a look. I think it's a full safety car at this point. So something's happened on track. I'm not sure what it is, but someone might have went off and maybe taken a bit of damage. So there's probably some debris on track there. A safety car this early off in the race definitely will not be triggering pit stops as far as we know. Is it a VSC or is it a full safety car? Man, I'm trying to see. That's the one thing they haven't updated in this game, and it's so annoying on spectator mode on this end, on my end. You cannot see what it doesn't let you know whether it's a full safety car or a VSC. It's supposed to be something on my screen letting, oh, it's a virtual safety car, guys. It's a VSC. I gotta look at the little signs on the side of the track that's blinking yellow there. That's what you gotta look at to see whether it says VSC or SC. Don't know whether it's a safety car or virtual safety car. But honestly, it's very annoying that they can't get that issue fixed. Yeah, guys, so it's a virtual safety car. We're not going to really expect pit stops during this. It's a bit of a shorter safety car just to get things sorted on track, and we'll get back racing before the lap is even over at this point here. So waiting for that to go again, and we're going to go. There we go. We've gone green already, and we're back racing. So let's see what the gap is out in front. Poorly Orange and Dave. A pretty close gap still, 6:10. It doesn't look like Orange has lost much time. To maybe about 10:32 here, has lost. But he's going to gain that back very quickly as he continues on with that fight there. Now going back down to Vibes here. He's still chasing after Ghost. Ghost, of course, though, has lost the DRS advantage range towards MX in front of him. So he's going to have to work his way back up to that. I'm hoping he can get it back. So let's see what's going to happen. Speed Alcoholic and Rick here. This is, of course, for 6th position. These two are fighting it out to the 310 gap. As you can see, the McLaren chasing after the Mercedes here. That's a pretty close gap, pretty good chase going on. He's trying to keep him out to the slipstream advantage, not working as well as you would expect there. Let's see as they get into lap 5 here, it should be what that gap is going to be. It's pretty close off. The McLaren definitely looking for a move on the inside into turn 1, and he's going side by side with that Mercedes. It looks like he's actually gotten the move done. He's already ahead of Rick there, so he's lost on position. He's down to 6. Gonna try to get it back if he can. We'll see what's gonna happen though. Dave here having some issues. I think he spun it wrong. Maybe something's happened though, but he's probably spun it wrong. He's lost the lead of this race on lap 5. That puts Orange up into the lead for the Japanese Grand Prix. MX is now up into 2nd. Vibes up into 3rd. We got Speed Alcoholic up into 4th. Break up into 15. He was running up into 6th. Not sure if the Red Bull has any damage, but I think he definitely took a bit of a spin there on track. Might have lost the rear, which caused that to happen. Eden My Dust here is in 8th. In the Williams, chasing after that Red Bull, as he knows he made a mistake. He's going to try and hope that another mistake is made. Speed Alcoholic falling down the grid order. Yellow flag there in Sector 2. So something's happened to his car. Probably had a bit of a spin there as well. Hey, it's Zach there. Welcome, man. I'm good to see you. I haven't talked to you in quite a while. Let's have to look further down the grid order. Let's see. Alonso in the Ferrari. Ferraris were having quite a bit of a spin issue going on in qualifying. I think both of them had a bit of an issue. Alonso had some trouble getting his qualifying lap in. His teammate had some trouble with a car in terms of avoiding the spins. Let's see where he's at. There's a 310 gap with Gilligan in front of him, but yeah, looking pretty good in terms of him getting that overtake done, provided he can keep this gap as close as it is, use the DRS advantage, and possibly try to find a gap maybe somewhere on track here, maybe into turn 1 or maybe into another sector of the track. We'll see how well it goes, but so far so good. Out in front though, I'm seeing a few closer gaps that we might have to just keep an eye on. Speed Alcoholic into the pits. I think he has damage, at least to go side by side into turn 1, and it's looking like Alonso gets ahead, keeping his position there in P9. Gilligan, of course, try to get it head back if he can. Not sure what the gap is going to be with that. It's a 310 gap still. Let's see how well this goes. You see they're watching those curves very, very carefully, getting through sector 1 here at Suzuka just to avoid any spins. I've said a bit of a blind spot going up there. If that car was not ghosted, would have been a bit of a nasty incident between the Ferrari and that AlphaTauri that was spun around on track there. And there's a Red Bull spun around. Was that who I think it was not Dave again? I think it was Dave again. He's already down to 10th. So we got a few drivers having some issues with spinning on track. I think they're losing their rear end. It's just a bit in the setup, I believe, or just adjusting to the track with the cars there, and just to get some practice they actually put in here for this. Goes down to 12 here, chasing after this AlphaTauri side by side. No contact between the two of them as he gets ahead. Now this, of course, going around. They're about to get into sector 3 on track. Finish up this lap and get into the next one. LB Racing out of the session. They've lost one driver so far. Got 18 still remaining in it, so yeah, not looking too bad. And we got a bit of an issue on track here. Let's have a look. Is it another virtual safety car, or do we have a full safety car on this occasion? Looks like it's a full safety car on this occasion, guys. So we're looking at some pit stops to start happening, which we already have some cars into the pits. I think our race leaders, though, were already past the pit lane entrance when a safety car happened, so they were not able to pit. Bit of a disadvantage maybe to them, but we'll see how much of an advantage it is going to be actually to the drivers who got to get into the pits there and get a change of tires on. It's lap 7 of 27 for the Japanese Grand Prix here with Tier 1 with APPF1, and looking pretty good from the start of the race to this point. We got some extremely good racing going on between these guys. We, of course, however, have lost one driver in the session here, and hopefully we can have him or else finish off. We only got 2 drivers with penalties for what I can see so far. Still having some pit stops happening there at the moment, so say full safety car. Gonna be under this for just a little bit as we get things sorted on track for maybe LB Racing left some debris on track there that they're trying to clear off. We're not entirely sure. We're gonna follow on with our race leader here at the moment as he follows on to get through to being run behind the safety car. Oh yeah, Orange not having a bad race. It's got up into the lead. Started there in second. Race leader had a bit of a spin, so he took over that lead and he's continuing on. Dave, I think, has spun twice now on track, so not having the best of races here. He did have a pretty good start on the race though. But let's see how the rest of the session progresses out here. So far so good, as we have it. MX, of course, all the way up into second. Got Orange now getting into the pits as he got a wrong the track. Let's see where he gets out on track though. Does he get back out into the lead? Because the group of drivers who took the pit stop on the start of the safety car, they're in a group coming down in the back there. We can see them coming. They're going to be here pretty soon to get past the pit lane. Oh, and they double stack on the Haas. garage there. So yeah, we got Orange getting back out now. Doesn't look like he really cost his teammate any much time. But it looks like one driver is out in front of him. That's going to be Alonso there in the Ferrari, which I don't think he took a stop. Which might explain why he is out in front. We haven't brought up pit stops there, but I don't think he took a pit stop. Let's have a quick look though. But no, he did not take a stop. Eatmedos did not take a stop either on this occasion here. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in terms of that there. But yeah, so Alonso leading the race out in front. He's going to be running behind the safety car there, of course. The House of Orange running second, of course, was previously leading the race. But he's going to easily be getting back that position once the Ferrari goes in for his pit stop, which will be at some point in the race. Eatmedos, of course, hasn't taken a stop as yet. He's going to have to take one pretty soon as well. But I think he's running on the mediums as well, so might have quite a way more to go in the race before he does take that stop. Let's see how it goes on for him. Vibes there, of course, in 5th. Dave in 6th. Rick there 7th. Nico there 8th. Got Dave down to 9th. Gilligan there in 10th. Speed Up Hulk in 11th. Manny 12th. Ghost 13th. Zeta in 14th. Badak in 15th. Tino's down 16th. And Tito in 17th. Jack there 18th. One driver out of the race. Just waiting for that safety car to get back in so we can get back racing. Hopefully at the end of this lap, I haven't counted how many laps it's actually been out. We're just hoping we can get back racing going into the next lap of the race here. Okay, so let's see what's happening. Looks like we're going one more lap under the safety car, getting everything cleared on track. The marshal should be finished by now, and we should be getting back this race on the way again, getting into lap 10. Gives us approximately about 17 to 18 laps or so remaining in the session. Not too bad. Let's see, we should get through them pretty quickly, and yeah, let's see how well it goes. And who is going to be winning this race? We know Alonso and Eatmedos have to take pit stops coming up pretty soon, maybe in 5 or 6 laps time. Yeah, that's going to put a few drivers up positions. Of course, that's going to put Orange back into the lead, provided he doesn't have a spin, unlike what happened with our previous race leader there, Dave there, who's now down in the 9th. I think he had 2 spins so far. Yeah, so some drivers just haven't had much of luck in terms of that, in terms of the race start there as well. You know, some of the drivers had some pretty bad starts, and some, of course, had some pretty good starts. No problem, we can show tires actually. Let's have a look at tires. So what I'll leave that on for just so you guys can have a look and see what's going on with tires there at the moment. So yeah, 8 laps on Alonso's tires here, not too bad. So Eatmedos is on his hards that he started on. Oh, Ghost is out of the session. What's happening with that situation there? Why is he out of the session? Something happened on track, I assume, but he is out of the session. I'm not sure if that is going to extend our safety car here, because we're supposed to be going in at the end of this current lap. Let's see what's going to happen. Are they going to get this car cleared off track before? They are going to get it cleared off track. So we're about to go back racing into the next lap, because we're into lap 10 of 27 for this race. And we got Alonso in the Ferrari leading. We got Orange there running second right now. Eatmedos running third, MX running fourth. Let's see how the restart goes. So Orange, of course, fresher tires on his car. He's going to be looking to get an overtake into turn 1. I'm quite sure of it, because he's keeping right up to the rear of that Ferrari as far as we can see. Getting on board. Let's see how fast he's going to keep up with him. Getting going again, overtaking until they get across the line, of course. And they're over it and get, let's see, get this race back going. He's trying to keep on the right side, trying to keep that pass out of his slipstream advantage. As of course, we can see Poorly Orange closing the gap in bit by bit as we get through this restart here. But so far so good. Let's have a look down in the midfield to see what's happening, because I think out in front it will take a while to get that gap a bit closer on. But the Mercedes of Rick here trying to keep up with the Williams in front of him. He's trying to go side by side, trying to go around somewhere, at least the inside or the outside, to get a position up here, but not able to go. So I'm quite sure he made a mistake. So anyway, with the comments he's putting on chat there, how did they manage? I'm not sure what he did, but he did something, and I think it was a mistake. Unfortunately, though, he is out of the session. Was a pretty good racing from him going through. Let's follow on with the Mercedes here with Rick here, really trying to push it around. And on the inside of that Williams, he gets it done. The Williams almost has some minor contact with the rear of the Mercedes, but so far so good. So Rick, a pretty good overtake from him. Through that chicane, he's up into 6th place. He's gonna keep that going. We got Nico, of course, putting the Williams of Leon under pressure right now. He's trying to get by as well. It's only a 210 gap. It's actually pretty close. He could potentially get this done out in front though. Orange, of course, still trying to get ahead into the lead. It's a 210 gap between him and Alonso. Let's see how fast that gap is gonna come down. At least it's pre-season. He's actually lucky for that. I think I'm going to switch it back out in front. Let's have a look. Is this going to be a switch for the lead of the race here? We do expect this is going to happen at some point, but will it happen on this current lap here? As the Ferrari trying, of course, again to keep the Haas of Orange out of his slipstream advantage. Doesn't seem to be working too well. He's closing in, but he's not closing in enough to attempt an overtake at this point here. He's going to have to just keep it going into the next lap and hopefully find a better gap to have an overtake done here. But so far so good from these two drivers here. The Ferrari, of course, 10 laps on those mediums so far, not too bad. They're not really got far gone, so he does have some life in them to push as much as he can here. But how much is he going to push? How much longer is he going to keep this car out in the lead here? Is he hoping for another safety car by the time he has to do his pit stop to keep that lead? Because he's hoping that Orange is going to do another stop if we have another safety car, which might just happen. This is how strategies change in races and how drivers on the back of the grid can easily win all the way out in front by just adjusting their strategy a bit and just holding out for things like safety cars and VSCs. Now we got Orange, of course, having a bit of pressure coming with the Williams behind. I think it's the Williams behind of him. Let's see my dust there, and it's about a 5-10 gap as he's now trying to close back his gap towards Alonso. Let's see how well that's working for him. It's going and coming a bit, but he does have that Williams behind to worry about just a bit. MX about 1.7 seconds behind, so I don't think they're too worried about him. Let's see what's going to happen though as we get into Nico out of the session. Something's happened on track there, and I'm trying to see if we can. There's a Ferrari, so that's a Ferrari out. One Ferrari now left in the session. Might be a full safety car situation here. Let's have a look. What's happening? Is it a VSC or a full safety car? I'm trying to have a look right now. This might be Alonso getting into the pit lane here. Actually very slowly. Drive through penalty for speeding under the safety car. He was going so slow. How was he speeding under the safety car? That's like extremely slow. So I guess it's a full safety car we're having. Still gonna try to have a look. Yep, it is a full safety car we're having here, guys. Let's have a look out from what's happening. So Orange continues out into the lead, takes back the lead, of course, here. And he's gonna be under this behind the safety car, going through 8 minutes up into 2nd. MX running third, 5's 4th, Rick 5th, got Damon in 6th, Speed Alcoholic 7th, Dave in 8th now. Tino's in 9th, Alonso down to 10th after his pit stop. Manny 11th, Zeta 12th, Baddock in 13th. And that's going to switch around just a bit as they take some more drivers into the pits there. We'll see how that order changes before we get back racing again. So yeah, another safety car here in the race. Not sure what we have so far. I really don't keep track too much of it. I probably should start keeping track of it. How many safety cars we have, how many VSCs, and stuff like that. It's too much work to write it down. I'll probably have to start doing it. I'll probably start doing it either way. We'll see. Okay, it's back on with this again. Sorry, just took a little bit of break getting off the chair for just a bit. Even though it's comfortable, still have to get up sometimes. So we got a safety car going in on the end of this current lap. We're about to get back racing on this race into lap 14. We're going to be going back racing as we got a safety car going away already. We're going to see how well it's going to go between Orange and Eat My Dust as they're running first and second here. Right sure that Williams is going to chase after the Haas as much as he can. Let's see as they go into turn 1. He's not too far behind. Of course, the Haas trying to weave around the track out in front, keeping out of that sleeping advantage. There's 13 laps on those hard tires that he has on, but still, close to stick after the Haas pretty quickly here with that braking and the line that he took getting around turns 1 into turn 2, but not too bad. I think pretty impressive with the strategy with that there as we got it going. So let's see what's happening with the rest of the grid here. In the meanwhile, and we're looking at some pretty close gas. I want to see if these two are going to make any changes, but let's go down the order just a bit. Got Tino's there and Dave. Let's see what's happening with those two. As the Aston Martin, of course, chasing after him, being chased by a McLaren there. That speed alcoholic behind, of course, just about 2/10 is what that gap is. So let's see if they're going to have any changes in terms of that. We can see Vibes, of course, having a close gap with MX there for a third position as well. I'm not sure if there's going to be any changes happening. Someone falling down the order. I think that was Tito there. Falling down the order. Rick here in the Mercedes chasing after speed alcoholic. Gap has extended off a little bit. We got a yellow flag there in sector 2. Someone's off track. I think that was Tito having a bit of issue. Got on with Jack here. Let's see, he's chasing after the Ferrari of Alonso in front of him. Trying to keep the gap as close as he can. Of course, he has Zeta in the Alfa Romeo coming behind. Then we got the Alpine of Gilligan there in 13 following on through. He's trying to keep a closer gap if he can. It's 1.4 seconds from him towards them, so he's not having the best luck in terms of keeping that gap. Let's see what's happening though on board with the Ferrari as he just loses the position to the Mercedes of Jack there, who gets ahead now and is up into 10th place. Not too bad on an overtake that I think he did there. We got Orange out in front, fastest lap in the session, keeping that race lead 1.4 seconds ahead, of course, of Eat My Dust, who is currently in second. So the Williams having some trouble keeping up with the Haas in front. Those tires are pretty old. He's gonna have to do a change at some point pretty soon. Let's see when he's going to decide to do that. The safety car has saved him on the level of grip line for the tires just a bit, but I don't think it's too much. He's going to have to do something pretty soon. Onward Vibes here at the moment. We're going to have a look what's going on with the battle for third place on the grid. That's between him and MX there, and it's one of the other Haas. So we get the Haas drivers running first and third here on the grid. If it's going to be a 1-3 finish for them, it's not going to be too bad. I think MX though might want to try and attempt to go ahead of Eat My Dust here into second place. Of course, we know that that's going to be a change in the grid order because the 14 laps on them, he's definitely going to be taking a pit stop. He hasn't taken a stop as yet. Has to take one mandatory pit stop in the race. It's one of the requirements, so he's going to have to take a stop. That's going to put the next Haas up into second. They might definitely be looking at the 1-2 finish if they can keep the strategy going to the end of the race there. Vibes, of course, following on through with MX. They're pretty close off, so he's looking at getting ahead and hopefully getting second place in this race if he can, or maybe even get past Orange out in front. But that gap is extending. They're looking at quite a big gap to deal with when they do get to that point there and get ahead of Eat My Dust. I'm looking, it's going to be quite interesting between these two as well, because we got the Alfa Romeo Vibes. He's looking for a gap to get ahead. Fastest lap keeps going to Orange out in front. Vibes, of course, putting that car under pressure right about now. 2/10 is where the gap is as he keeps behind him on that pit straight going down the into turn 1. They're trying to keep the gap at what it is there right about now, and so far so good from what you can see. Looks like we got a McLaren and a Red Bull. That's a speed alcoholic and Dave down at the back there was going side by side around the parabolic. Yeah, they're still close off to each other going. I want to keep where this gap is going to go. Let's have a look at them though, because the Red Bull is really trying to get up at the 6th place. Dave, of course, pretty good driver, has not had the best of racing here today at the Suzuka, but he's trying to just get back out in front as much as he can here. The McLaren though giving him a hard time at this point in terms of getting an overtake done. He's being chased by Rick in the Mercedes. Of course, Rick not too bad with his overtakes that he's had in this race so far. He's trying to get ahead back as well, and we're going to put Dave under some pressure. Let's see how well it's going to be handled by him in terms of trying to keeping ahead here. Out in front, we can see the gaps are extending quite a bit now. 2.6 seconds for Orange. He's quite happy with this, I'm quite sure. We're on to lap 16 or 27. We got about 12 laps remaining to close off this Japanese Grand Prix. So far, so good. Keep does not able to keep up right now. He is going to have to take a stop. I think he's holding out for another safety car here. Not sure if that's going to happen. Speed Alcoholic here trying to get ahead of that Williams. They're not looking good in terms of where to go at this point because he was trying to figure out where to go on the inside or the outside, but the inside was closed off. Was going to be forced around the outside. It's going to be into turn one now. What's going to happen at this point? Can he get ahead? And he's trying to go side by side on the inside into turn one as we go into the next lap. He does get ahead of the Williams and takes back the racing line. He gets that move done quite impressively. As you can see, those two out in front still chasing after each other there, but you know the gap is just a bit too big. I don't think anything's going to happen there for the moment. Vibes, of course, a 210 gap, a 110 gap now towards the Haas in front of him. He's definitely looking to take second place in this race, but he needs to get by MX here to do this because he quite sure he knows that Esports has to take a stop here in this race. Hasn't taken one split stop as yet. Everyone else, I think, out in front has done their stops and is looking to be an extremely close battle between these two for the final 10 laps of the race. Let's see if he can get the move done. He's going to push a lot on those tires there and a lot of dirty air. They're running so close behind the Haas for so many laps going on through. Let's see how much more laps he's going to be doing this. We got Speed Alcoholic there behind them. 1.2 seconds is on the mediums though, and 11 laps on them, so he might be doing another stop going on to the softs to finish up this race. So we got quite a few laps left in the race here. We'll see what the situation is going to be. Got Zeta on 4 laps old soft tires. He's looking pretty good so far. I wouldn't doubt that there goes. I think Speed Alcoholic can actually pull it off. I'm not sure how well he is with tires, but if you're saying he's that good, then definitely he is going to be able to push those mediums all the way to lap 27. It's not impossible at this point here with the amount of laps that we have remaining. It's definitely possible. I mean, those tires are going to start to go around lap 25, but I think he can actually push it through, and he's going to just conserve it just a bit as much as he can as you can see the possible move here between these two, and looks like MX is not giving him a gap to go with. Car placement is incredible at this point in terms of him blocking off that Alfa Romeo from getting a move done. He needs to get a clean overtake here. Doesn't want to risk having damage or risk having a spin or there's any issues between the two of them. So he needs to keep the racing as clean as he can here, but intense as it gets. I think it's going to get a bit better than this going through the final stage of this race here. Is so close between them. Trying to have a look at what's happening with the grid on the back there as we watch these two battle on track. Of course, this is currently for third, but it's going to end up being for second place once that Williams takes a pit stop. And we know that's going to happen at some point. And we got a spin from Vibes here. He spun around. Bit of a mistake. I'm not sure if you had any contact because we were looking at the grid order at the moment. They're unfortunate for that, but that was a pretty good battle going on there. Now we got Speed Alcoholic with a 610 gap towards the Haas in front, so it's not over for MX as yet. He just got done dealing with one driver, now dealing with another one chasing after him for that position. This, of course, if Speed Alcoholic can get that overtake done, this is second place in the race here. That's a really good podium position for him. As you can see, it's going to be a bit difficult, of course, though, keeping up the gap to get ahead of Orange, because it's already a 4.5 second gap. They're going to have maybe a safety car to change things up in the race, or someone to actually challenge him at this point for that position there. Let's have a look at the rest of the grid down here as we got a train of cars going into turn one right about now. Rick and Dave going at it here. Who gets ahead? The Mercedes trying to keep around. He's into 6th at the moment. Dave and him fighting back to back with the position. They got a Williams in the middle of this as well. Let's see how that's actually going to go for these two. Still side by side and going here. I'm trying to have a look from the Williams perspective. That's from Demon there. See what's happening with the two of them at the back there. Let's have a look on the rear wing of the Mercedes right now as that Red Bull is coming. Gap is extremely close. This is some intense racing from these guys. Oh, and he has a spin. The Red Bull has another spin. That's a third spin we've seen Dave have on track here, and the gap was so close towards the Mercedes. Unfortunate for him with that. MX here, let's see where he's at. He is now down to 4th. Speed Alcoholic got ahead of him. He's up into 3rd, so MX trying to keep up with him in the Haas right now. And yeah, not having the best of luck. It's only 13 laps on those mediums, 11 laps on the hards that MX has on. So you can see why the advantage would go Speed Alcoholic's way here in terms of getting it's a bit more pace to get by as well. Rick here now trying for another move against Demon here. He's trying to get ahead into 5th on the inside of that turn. Gets it done pretty well before he gets to the exit. And yeah, I think he's keeping this race going pretty well. He's definitely working his way up the grid or at the moment. And we know he's going to go all the way to the end of this race on the time. We do have APPF1 just taking a pit stop here. So he decided to take his pit stop on lap 20. Doesn't want to risk waiting any longer for a safety car to happen again. So we got Orange still leading this race. Speed Alcoholic now 7.9 seconds. It's 8 seconds right now. They're losing time to him. Can they break that gap down at any point? It's just about 7.5 laps remaining to close off the Japanese Grand Prix, and it's very limited in terms of time here. It's seeming to be they're gonna have to gain at least 1.4 to 1.5 seconds per lap in order to get this overtake done with before the race is over. And I don't think it's gonna be quite possible or that easy unless Orange makes a mistake here, which is seeming less likely as we get further into this race session. So lap 20 of 27 for the Japanese Grand Prix with APPF1 Tier 1 here, guys. And there has been such an interesting session. Qualifying, very competitive. The race start, very clean, getting around the first few laps. And we did have a few safety cars, VSCs, but yeah, still an interesting session going on through a lot of battles on track here. Apologies for anyone we haven't covered in terms of overtakes, but we're just trying to keep as much as we can with everyone else, because we got multiple battles happening on track here at the moment. You see Gilligan and Dave having a little bit of a close gap. Let's see what their Alpine is going to be. He's running to P10. Haven't gone too much of Gilligan at the moment. Let's see where his gap is. It's 8 tenths between him and Dave there in the Red Bull. Now we know Dave is prone to having spins on track. He's had 3 spins in this race so far. I think Gilligan is hoping he has another one and he gains a free position here. Let's see if that's going to happen or not. Gap is still around 8 tenths. He's gone to about a second right now. He's going to push Gilligan out of the DRS advantage. Not able to keep up with his Red Bull, so needs to push a little bit more on track in terms of strategy as well to get ahead. Maybe hopefully use a bit more ERS if he has it available in the car. I'm not sure. But I haven't put that on, but we're not going to put it on. We'll leave it at that. Just not to know and to see what's happening. So the gap is about a second right now, so he's lost a bit of time. Let's see if he's going to be able to gain that back as he continue on through the Mercedes of Jack here. 3 tenths between him and Tino in front of him in the I think it's Aston Martin in front of him there. Yep, it is. Can he break this gap down any further? He's lost a bit of time since he actually switched to him there. Let's see how this continues all the way through. Penalty situation is just a 3-second penalty for everyone so far. Pit stops, so we can see what pit stops they took. Some drivers are taking up to 4 pit stops in this race here. Who are we looking at for driver of the day? Looks like Speed Alcoholic has gained some positions and he's highest up on the grid, so he might be quite in line for getting driver of the day at the end of this race, which would be a bad move for him there. He's raced quite well to get up into 2nd place on the grid. We got a safety car, I think, happening there for incident with Manny, I think it is. I'm not even sure, but yeah, we got quite another safety car happening. Everyone's getting into the pits right now. I'm quite sure it's a full safety car. Everyone is literally getting into the pit. This is going to make the final few laps of this race quite interesting, as we got the House of Orange getting back out on track. And I'm quite sure, yep, he is on fresh, soft tires, which is going to be where everyone else is going to be. This is going to make things so much more intense on the final few laps of this race. Always a lot of fun when a safety car happens this close to the end of a race. It changes the entire aspect of the race from who was winning to what's going to happen next, because now Orange is running in the lead, of course, still, but Gilligan now up into 2nd, hasn't taken a stop. He's held out. He's held it out. Let's see what the tires situation is with him. It's 14 laps on those hards, and he's going to hold it out behind Orange to try and keep that car in 2nd to get across the line. Speed Alcoholic, though, now on fresh tires, soft as well, to go to the end. Even us in 4th, he was holding out in 2nd for a safety car to happen. He took a stop and he would have been able to keep that car in possibly in 2nd, or maybe right there in 3rd. I'm not sure where he would have been, or somewhere right around there, but he's kept it in 4th. Not too bad a position. And then we got MX there now running 5th, Rick in 16th or 7th. We got Demon in 8th, Vibes 9, Jack in 10th, Dave 11th, Alonso 12th, got Zeta in 13th, Tito in 14th, and Badak running 15th, still in the pits and about to get back out. And yep, goes, this is going to be one heck of a finish to this pre-season race here for APPF1, but has been, yeah, a lovely session so far. Let's see what the rest of the race has to offer us. Safety car is going to be over pretty quickly, guys. At least going into lap 24, I assume we're going to get back racing. I think the latest. So let's see what's going to happen. It gives us at least about 4 laps of racing to finish up this race. So I think it's quite more enough as well. I'm going to leave tires on, so we can see what's happening here. But yeah, Gilligan is going to have a heck of a time here, keeping that car in second place. I wouldn't be surprised if he got past Orange, but I'm not sure it's going to be that possible. The Haas, of course, has some significant pace throughout the session. I think he's going to be able to keep his car out in front with the soft tires that he has, unless he makes a mistake. Alcoholic, though, they're in third with fresh soft tires. He's going to put a serious challenge up to Gilligan in that Alpine there. So Alpine has some serious work to do if he wants to keep that position. Let's see if it's going to be any possible or not. I think Jack there with a bit of old tires as well, 8 laps on his mediums, but yeah, not so bad as what we got there, 15 laps on the hards there with Gilligan. I mean, those are hard tires. They can go quite a bit more, but compared to everyone else around him with those soft tires and fresh soft tires as well, it's definitely going to put a challenge towards him. But I think it's what we want to see right about now. Can the Alpine driver actually hold out second place and finish on the podium here? I think even if he finishes third on the podium, I'll call that a significant finish for him. Because I think Speed Alcoholic will probably be able to get by him within the first 2 laps after we get back restarted. Probably within the first lap. We'll see what's going to happen. He's going to have to defend like crazy and avoid getting any spins here. Eat my dust, of course. Going to get up to third. Sorry, I'm gonna run behind Gilligan if that happens. But let's see if he can get an overtake done before the race comes to an end. Not quite sure about it. We'll see what's going to happen though. Oh, I see an error on the commentary schedule. For those of you watching the commentary schedule in the chat, guys, it's Wednesdays at 3 and Fridays at 2:30. I made a mistake with that. I'm not even sure how I made a mistake. I have to correct that after the stream. Hopefully I remember to do it this time. Okay, so we're on lap 23. We should be getting back the restart going after this current lap here. The safety car should be going in. Gonna have to wait until the cars get past the entry point into sector 3 on the track. That's when race control lets us know if we're about to get back racing or not. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun to watch this race so far. Streaming this race on my end, it's actually a lot of fun. Literally all I got to do is just sit here with a controller in my hand and just looking at the screen and talking a lot. Of course, it's not as easy as it looks. Just say that, but yeah, it's still a lot of fun for me to do this. Alright, there we go, guys. Safety car coming in at the end of this lap. We're about to get back racing into lap 24. Let's see how it's going to go between Gilligan and Orange there, and Alcoholic behind. I want to see the top 3. What's going to happen? That Alpine trying to keep as close as he can to the Haas here on the restart. Let's get on board with him. He has the McLaren Speed Alcoholic already going by as they get across the line. So an easy overtake for him getting on that restart. So Alpine down into third. Even just trying to follow off on him. Is it going to be another overtake? What's going to happen? The Williams, of course, challenged by MX there. And yeah, it's going to be a little more work to do here with the Alpine if he wants to keep a podium position at the end of this race here. Out in front, Orange now getting challenged by Speed Alcoholic as it's in a 4-10 gap. We got the Haas trying to go around. It looks like MX gets the position done. He's come all the way from behind and got that position done. I would think we're going to have some problems with Gilligan here in terms of keeping his position. How much can he actually fight with these drivers coming behind? Get a Mercedes and yeah, there's Rick coming behind there, who's definitely going to fight for a position to try and get ahead. He's now down into 4th. I highly doubt he's going to be able to get back up into 3rd place. Got a Mercedes going side by side with him there. The Aston. I think we had a minor issue with the stream there for a second, but it seems to be fine right about now. A few more laps. Hopefully it can hold out and we can finish off this race session. Gilligan here 3/10 behind the Aston Martin. I want to know if he's going to be able to keep that position until the end of this race. Not entirely sure. Let's see what's happening down in the back here though, because we got some closer gaps there with Jack now chasing after Eat My Dust, who's down to 7th on the grid. These two drivers, of course, with old medium tires on still. The 3 drivers who have old tires on are running 6th, 7th, and 8th on the grid. Can they finish in that order? We'll see what's going to happen. Alonso out of the race. Dave out of the race. Unfortunately, that's caused a bit of an incident in Sector 1, I believe it is. And looks like it extends over to Sector 2 as well. Unfortunately, that leaves us now with just 13 drivers remaining here in the session. But yeah, not too bad what we got going on. Vibes here trying to get past that Mercedes of Jack, and he get it done. See what's going to happen. It's gap is now going just under a second between Orange and Speed Alcoholic. That, of course, is for the leader of the race. What's happening in the back here? Bit of a mix with cars getting around. We might have some issues there. I think they're trying to hold it up. So that's the Alpine of Gilligan. They're still trying to keep positions as much as he can, but it's losing them as you get on through. Back out in front to the McLaren of Speed Alcoholic. He's chasing after the Haas of Orange. Not having the best luck in terms of closing that gap under 5/10 right now, which is where he needs to be if he wants to even attempt an overtake at this point. I'm gonna go back down the order though to Jack here chasing after Baddock at the moment. Let's have a look from the rear of Baddock's car. See how close that Mercedes is gonna get. Looks like that gap has closed in quite a bit. Will Baddock be able to hold off the Mercedes? We're on the penultimate lap right about now. That's now 26 of 27 and about to finish this race very, very shortly. So let's see what's going to happen with the order as it is. Then we know some drivers have penalties. Let's bring that online actually a bit. Usually this is the point where we do bring the penalties on. It's a 3-second penalty for everyone who has a penalty on track. Speed Alcoholic with a 3-second penalty, but MX running behind of him. 4.5 seconds where the gap is, so he's going to keep second place on the grid. That's going to be MX finishing third. And so of course Rick and Tino is going to be switching positions because of his 3-second penalty there with the Mercedes. And I think that's going to be that order there. I'm going to have a look at the rest of them as they get across the line. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Going down to Jack now, see where he is on track. Down to Zeta at the moment. Haven't followed this driver out quite a bit. Actually, haven't followed him much as he gets past Gilligan right about now. So Gilligan on those old tires are not working for him. He's falling down the order quite a bit. All the way down to 12th right now. He's out of the top 10. Unfortunate for that there, but that was the call he made not to do a pit stop during the safety car. Even though it's cost him quite a bit in this race here. Going back to Vibes here, who's trying to go side by side with the Williams of Demon there. He gets up into P6. But if he was there already, holding on to that position now. Got the Williams though, of course, trying to come back at him there. Out in front, it's a 1.2 second gap to a race leader there from Speed Alcoholic. So looks like Orange is looking at a win here for the Japanese Grand Prix for the preseason race. So we got another 3-second penalty added there. 18 seconds right now for Eatmedas. He's heading at the point of getting disqualified from the race for having too many penalties. And he has retired from the session, so Eatmedas is out. Got 12 drivers now remain here in the race session as we have it. Started off with 19, down to 12. Not too bad of a race though, I gotta say. Still makes for an interesting session with the kind of racing that we've had going on here. We're on the final lap of this race. I think I'm going to switch it out in front here with our race leader right about now. That's the Haas of Fully Orange here. Where I think, where did he start in this race? He started right there in P1, and that's where he's going to finish. The winning driver is going to finish in the position that he actually started the race in. Let's leave penalties on. And we'll see what the finishing order is about to be here with this race as he gets through the final few turns here. Does have Speed Alcoholic 1.3 seconds behind of him, but with a 3-second penalty, even if he gets by some miracle, not going to be able to hold up that position unless the gap extends so quickly. But we go across the line here. Orange takes the win for the preseason race here for APPF1 Tier 1 here. Not too bad of a win for him. So the Haas driver takes the win. The McLaren Speed Alcoholic gets across the line. P2 keeps that podium position. MS gets across the line for P3. We got Tito's taking 4th, Rick in 5th, 5, 6, Demon in 7, Zeta takes 8, Tito takes 9, Baddock takes 10. We got Jack taking 11, and Gilligan, of course, are across the line to take the final position there. That's P12. Oh yeah, I understand the DNFs. Don't worry about that. We've had a lot of DNFs on all the Japanese Grand Prix we've done over the course of the week, but still, it's been some exciting racing getting on track. As long as the race is exciting like this, I really don't care if you have 3 drivers finish a race. But yeah, when it's dirty racing, then it's a whole different story. But yeah, we got some clean drivers, we got some really good drivers there in the league. So we're looking forward to continuing on with APPF1 through the Fridays, every Friday, and yeah, getting that done. So it's 7:30 UK time, it's 2:30 Eastern Standard Time for me that we have that session being done. So guys, do check the channel out. Oh, let's have a look at the results first. So race winner there for Tier 1 is for their preseason race. That's Apolli Orange. And the Haas takes the win and the fastest lap as well. Not too surprised by that either way. Speed Alcoholics takes a second there in the McLaren. We got MX there taking third. Tino's takes fourth. We got Rick there taking fifth. Vibes finishes in 6th, Steven 7, Zeta in 8, got Tito Man there in 9, Badak in 10, Jack in 11, Gilligan finished 12. The rest of the drivers unfortunately did not get to finish the session, unfortunate for that, but it does go that way sometimes. Yeah, so once again guys, thank you to everyone who joined on the race session here to watch the race with us. Really appreciate you guys joining on. Make sure you guys do leave a like on the video. Make sure you guys share the link out as much as you like, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next stream, which will be on Monday. We might have a video or a short video to upload it over the course of the weekend. Do check it out. Have a view. Leave a like for me. Do appreciate the support from you guys. And yeah, but our next commentary stream is going to be on Monday, and it's already scheduled up on the channel for the course of next week. I have one more to schedule, so do have a look at that. All races will already be scheduled on the YouTube channel, so you guys can know what we got going on over the course of a week. Thank you guys once again. Have a good evening.